10 tips to lower blood sugar naturally. Experts agree that individuals living with type 2 diabetes can improve their symptoms with a few simple lifestyle tweaks. GlucoTrust is a new supplement manufactured in the USA that contains a formula of all natural ingredients. These ingredients work together to promote healthy blood sugar levels, safe and effective weight loss, and better sleep. To find out more about this supplement, you may follow the link in the description below. It's the holy grail for people with diabetes. Checking your blood sugar and seeing the numbers right in line. Can lifestyle changes help? If you have diabetes, lowering blood sugar isn't just a short-term goal, it helps prevent or delay diabetes complications, including heart, kidney, eye, and nerve diseases. It can change the course of the disease entirely. It's 100% important that people with type 2 diabetes try and lower their blood sugars through dietary approaches first. For some people, it not only can be preventive, but it can also help with reversal of the actual disease. Making a few key lifestyle changes can sometimes eliminate the need for medication. Poking yourself with insulin isn't fun. Diabetes is a progressive disease, and you really have to figure out how to take control. Here are 10 ways to do it, no prescriptions required. Paying attention to carbohydrates is important for people with type 2 diabetes. Carbs are what cause your blood sugars to potentially fluctuate. How many carbs per meal is ideal? It's tailored to each individual. How much you exercise, your weight, and your age can all affect how long sugars stay in your system. A typical starting point for people with diabetes is to limit carb intake to 200 to 245 grams per day, which amounts to about 1/2 of your daily calories coming from carbs. From there, make adjustments according to your blood glucose readings or as recommended by a dietitian. And keep in mind that carbs aren't only found in the usual culprits, like bread, potatoes, and pasta. They are also in fruits, vegetables, sweets, and dairy, so you have to take all of those into consideration as well. One way to keep carbs under control is by eating in moderation. Don't eat small meals to save up for a big dinner. Feeding your body throughout the day helps regulate your blood sugar levels and prevents highs and lows. Keep an eye on carbs, even while snacking. Classically, less than 15 grams of carbs per snack is a good standard approach. That's about what's found in 1 cup of fruit. Fiber is another nutrient you'll want to keep an eye on for blood sugar management, but in this case, the more the better. It can help stabilize your blood sugars. It also plays a role in weight management and can lower your risk of cardiovascular disease. Fiber plays a preventative role, too. Studies have found that high-fiber diets can reduce the incidence of type 2 diabetes by 15 to 19% compared to low-fiber diets. You'll find fiber in plant foods such as raspberries, peas, and whole grains. Beans are another good source of fiber. People with type 2 diabetes who ate at least a cup of legumes such as beans, chickpeas, and lentils daily for 3 months had lower blood glucose levels as measured by the A1C test. A1C is a way to measure your average blood glucose levels over a 3-month period. Beans also are an excellent source of folate, which is linked to a lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Men should aim for 30 to 38 grams of fiber per day, and women should eat 21 to 25 grams per day. Poor or limited sleep affects body chemistry, and getting more slumber helps with blood sugar control. Chronic lack of sleep may contribute to the risk of type 2 diabetes. Healthy volunteers who slept only 4 hours for 3 nights in a row had higher levels of fatty acids in their blood, which reduced insulin's ability to regulate blood sugar by about 23%, the researchers found. Lack of sleep is also linked with other health conditions, including obesity, heart disease, and stroke. The National Sleep Foundation recommends aiming for 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep per night. Having sleep troubles? Follow these recommendations from the National Sleep Foundation, which sleep in a cool, dark room, and avoid consuming alcohol or caffeine in the hours before bed. Also, you can go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, even on the weekends, and don't look at screens for at least a half hour before bedtime, including TV, tablets, cell phones, and computers. Carrying around extra weight is one of the main causes of insulin resistance, keeping the blood sugar lowering hormone from working properly. Your weight loss goals don't have to be enormous either. Some of patients have seen improvements in blood glucose readings with only a 5-pound loss. Makes sense. Modest weight loss like losing 5 to 10% of body weight resulted in improved insulin sensitivity and glucose tolerance. Small steps in the right direction can yield big results in improvement or prevention. Staying hydrated is an easy way to stay in control of your blood sugar levels. A previous study found the more water study participants drank, the less likely they were to develop high blood sugar. More specifically, the study found people who drank less than half liter of water per day were at increased risk of developing blood sugar issues. The idea is that water helps flush glucose out of the body. Having a glass of water can be really helpful in essentially diluting your blood sugar and lowering your blood sugar in a healthy way. When you're stressed out, your blood sugar tends to rise. When you're stressed, insulin levels fall, certain hormones rise, and more glucose is released from the liver, which ends up in the bloodstream and can cause disruptions for up to 8 hours. How can you burn off tension? Yoga and meditation can help people lower their blood sugar levels. Involving 27 nursing students and found a combination of yoga and meditation practice for 1 hour once a week led to reduced levels of stress and lower blood glucose levels after 12 weeks. Taking a few deep breaths, going for a walk, playing with your dog for a few minutes, or listening to a fun song. Basically whatever you can do to distract yourself for a few minutes and just lower your breathing rate will help. Indeed, the less water in your body is liked with a higher blood sugar concentration. We've all heard that breakfast is the day's most important meal. This is especially true for those who have diabetes. A high-protein breakfast has an edge over breakfasts that are high in carbohydrates. In the research, women ages 18 to 55 consumed meals with similar calories, fat, and fiber contents but differing amounts of protein. Researchers monitored the amount of glucose and insulin in the participants' blood for 4 hours after they ate breakfast. The best breakfasts contained 39 grams of protein and led to lower post-meal glucose spikes than the meals with less protein. Besides, eating breakfast may help overweight people with type 2 diabetes shed extra pounds. Of the participants in the National Weight Control Registry who maintained at least a 30-pound weight loss for at least 1 year, 78% said they eat breakfast daily. Resistant starch found in some potatoes and beans bypasses the small intestine and ferments in the large intestine, which means it doesn't raise glucose levels and promotes the growth of good bacteria in the. It's a fiber-filled starch and helps with glycemic control. And the effect will last through your next meal. It's called the second meal effect. Interestingly, resistant starch can change with heat, and some foods, like rice, are higher in resistant starch when cooked and cooled than when cooked and served warm. Resistant starches are also found in plantains and unripe bananas, beans, peas, lentils, whole grains, including oats and barley. Just be sure to keep carb count in mind when incorporating foods with resistant starch into your diet. Exercise helps improve blood glucose in people with type 2 diabetes by increasing insulin sensitivity and the body's ability to use glucose as energy. In type 2, exercise helps improve insulin resistance. The end result is lower blood sugars. Patients that exercise is like spring cleaning for the body. It takes the stored form of glucose and uses it for energy, so the next time you eat carbohydrates there's a place to put it. Because exercise can immediately reduce blood sugar levels in people with type 2 diabetes, work with your healthcare team to determine the right amount of activity and timing for you. A study published in September 2017 in Frontiers in Endocrinology found exercising 30 minutes after the start of a meal is usually best for maintaining blood sugar controls.